Hi guys, this is Sam for SAP Careers and Job Seekers Group. Welcome to this channel. There has been a lot of noise around cloud solutions starting off early 2020s and now still progressing. And actually, post-COVID, it has taken a high speed in terms of growth and in terms of demand. And we'll talk about why do you need to kind of get into the cloud solution. So if I'm a client who's actually running a bunch of servers in the office, or if I'm a candidate who has been trained on the on-premise system, which is the server rack sitting in your office, what are the key factors that will make you move to the cloud solution? And why should you move to the cloud, right? And what opportunities do we have in the cloud? So I'm going to talk a little bit about these today and hope it helps you in your journey for transitioning from on-premises to the cloud, both in terms of your skill sets, in terms of your current applications, also in terms of the technology shift. Now, we will talk about AI and generative AI in one of the videos I'm going to talk about. So there has been a lot of noise around metaverse in the last few years, and of late, generative AI has been the go-to area for most technology companies and most customers. But let's talk about what is it that makes you susceptible if you kind of stay in your current legacy system environment. So let's talk about 10 things that really would help you and would kind of make you embrace the cloud technology, right? So here we go. So let's start with the first one. The first one is the cloud's first strategy adapted by most companies. So SAP has adapted what we call as Ignite 2024. And I'm going to put a link in the video below, which tells you why you should be moving to the cloud. Right. So the cloud first strategy really means that anything that an organization comes up with, you have to try and fit into the cloud solution first. And if you do not fit into the cloud, then only you look at other alternatives. Right. So 2024 and 2025 is also expected to be the cloud first strategy year. And 2025, there will be a shift to what we call as AI first strategy. That means once you have moved to the cloud, the next wave would be the AI wave. It typically happens 2 to 3 years after the technology has really matured, right? So AI is still in the maturity phase. Cloud has matured. So first would be the cloud first strategy. So most organizations, most vendors are embracing the cloud first strategy. So that would be the first thing why you should look at cloud. The number two would be cloud sets up a level playing field. So if I'm an individual, a freelancer, let's say I'm in Upwork or I'm in Fiverr and I'm freelancing, or I'm an independent consultant who's consulting on hourly rate, wherever in the world you are, right? Or I'm a SME, for example, I'm a tax accountant, or I'm accounting services, or a legal services, or immigration services, or a small e-commerce company. Then cloud first strategy allows me what we call as a level playing field. So second is a level playing field. So whether you are a conglomerate of $100 billion or $1 trillion, most companies, now are looking at what we call as becoming the next unicorn, which is not a billion, it's going to be $1 trillion soon. So if you are kind of looking to move from your current system, then cloud provides a level playing field. That means it's like an electricity. It's just the size of or the volume of the applications or the infrastructure as a service that you use It's not going to be the huge cost for you in terms of servers, in terms of application, in terms of hardware administrator, network administrators, Windows and database administrators, as well as SAP or Oracle-based specific administrators. So it provides a level playing field. Would be the number 2 reason why you should move to the cloud. Number 3 would be the low carrying cost. So all of, as I talked about manpower costs, I talked about infrastructure costs, licensing costs, maintenance costs, and upgrade costs, both technical and functional upgrade. These costs add up huge. So if you are moving to the cloud, you do away with all of these costs. So the carrying cost, the OPEX, the operational expense for cloud is going to be very low relative to setting up brand new infrastructure and having all those administrators and developers working for you, right? So number 3 would be the low carrying cost or the low OPEX of cloud. Number 4 would be the ease of use in terms of automatic updates, right? So when you upgrade a system, typically you have to upgrade systems every year now. Possibly the mandatory period for SAP is like 3 years. Some vendors have 2 years. So if you are going to upgrade, you will need server upgrades, you will need disk upgrades, you'll need memory upgrades, you'll need CPU power upgrades with the generative AI coming. You'll also need new technology consultants. Now with the cloud first strategy and moving to cloud, the scalability or the updates, both functional and technicals, are taken care much easier, right? It becomes very easy and you just have to focus on the functionality or the process side of it, right? The number 4 would be the updates. So updates are the 4th reason why you want to move to the cloud. Number 5 is you see an entire change or a paradigm shift in terms of terminologies. In terms of, for example, you had the admin services. Now it's called identity authentication services. You had the enterprise structure. Now it's called org structure, right? You had blueprinting, now it's called scoping, and the scoping is primarily identifying the right business process, right? And we have a pre-configured business process. So the ease of use has kind of become much better. So I would say the number 5 would be how easy it is to use the cloud solutions. Though you might feel different terminologies, different in some cases it's the old wine in a new bottle. In some cases it's totally a different system, right? However, once you start using it, you'll feel that it's much easier to use. So ease of use with the number 5th, right? Number 6 would be extensions. So if I'm building interface or I'm building interfaces to other systems and applications, the cloud in SAP provides the BTP, Business Technology Platform, and that has predefined APIs. So the APIs, what we call as views, CDS views, or the data sources, and the APIs are pre-delivered to you. You just need to kind of live with those because they are huge numbers. In most cases, they will serve the purpose. You just have to set up a custom CDS view so you can kind of filter the data that is required by you from those views that extract data. For example, if you have 20 fields, then you only need 10 fields out of those, and you want to filter out 10 fields, then you can leave those and you can create a custom CDS view and you can use a standard API to extract data. So I would say extensibility is much easier in the cloud, right? So the number 7 would be basically the ease of use in terms of as a user. So if I'm an end user or I'm a consultant, you don't see any T codes, you don't see any table names, you don't see any programs that are complex, you don't see schemas. You basically search by using text, right? So if you want to search master data, you say master data, right? If you want to search material master, you just type material master. If you want to search tables, you'll just say CDS. which is core data services, and it will bring up all the views that are there. If you want to search API, just type API. So there is no T codes that were there, no table names, no complexity. That's much, much easier to use. So number 7 would be the rapid implementation that we do. So the rapid implementation is we mostly use what we call as the activate or the agile methodology. So we do not have to have multiple landscapes or multiple multi-tier architecture like we had before. It's a simplified architecture where you have a development client and you have a customization or the programming client, right? You will scope, you will do org structure, and then you will do activity implementations, right? Now, I do want to mention there are 3 types of, cloud implementations. One is parallel implementation. You have your current system running and some of the applications are moved to cloud. You also have what we call as a private cloud, which is platform as a service or infrastructure as a service. It is extensively used only to a particular client, and you have 80 to 90% control over the systems in terms of changing codes, in terms of upgrades. They will ask you permission to upgrade. And then you have a public cloud, which is like you have only 60% control. So both technical and application managed services are taken care by SAP, right? So again, rapid implementation is the number 7th reason why would you want to move to the cloud. Now I'll talk about the last 3 reasons, which is 8, 9, and 10, and they are important. So 8 would be whenever a customer is implementing cloud solution, it's going to be very easy or low cost implementation, I would say, right? So number 1 is ease of use to implement. Number 2 is the agile methodology or activate methodology. So the activate methodology that SAP uses is called activate because it basically activates pre-delivered, pre-configured business scenario and objects. So it has 4 phases primarily, right? It is prepare, explore, realize, and deploy. So prepare is where you actually check the best practices and make sure your business scenario are mapped to the pre-configured best practices scenarios delivered with the system, which you have to activate during the scoping phase. So you will do this in the preparation phase. So in the explore phase, obviously, you will do your final blueprinting, you will do, extensibility or other applications that you might want to deploy. You will look at those. You will also start your sign off of your blueprint and also prepare data to migrate. All right, and the next phase is the realize phase. In the realize phase, obviously, you will do the final data migration, the final configuration, the final customizations that happen in the system, and ultimately the deploy phase where you will do the user training, user change management, user onboarding, as well as the support or the post go live support you will give during the deploy phase, where user onboarding becomes very critical. And then finally the run phase, which is ongoing support that needs to be done. So there, those would be the primary 4 phases, which is prepare, explore, realize, and deploy. The first phase, which is discover, and the final run are phases which are also used, but the core phases would be prepare, explore, realize, and deploy. So again, so the low cost of implementation and the rapid speed of implementation would be the 8th reason. The last 2 reasons are pretty important. The 9th reason is the opportunity cost. So if you are not moving to cloud, you're losing a lot of opportunities in the market. You need to move into it now. Those who have claimed experience are not really experienced. So none of these guys have really done a pure cloud implementations. So the early bird gathers the most worms. So you should get into it early. There will be tons and tons of opportunities for you. Last but not the least, the benefit of moving to cloud first would be the rates you can get in the market and the openings that are there in the market, right? Because of the low availability of the consultants, you could be the first to get into the market. You could call yourself as the platinum consultant of the group, in the cloud technology. And since it is more about integration and extensibility and less about technology in terms of developing and configuring, so if you want to do a clean implementation, you will use as is cloud best practices. If you customize it, and then whenever there's an upgrade, whether it's a technical or a functional upgrade, you will have to maintain those custom codes. So minimum changes is the best approach to it. But again, tons and tons of opportunities and great rates for cloud consultants. This would exist for 2024, 2025, 2026. And SAP is trying to discontinue the support of on-premises system by 2027 for SME, which is maybe 500 million to $1 billion customers or lower than those, 1,000 to 10,000 employees. And by 2030, they will also discontinue for the large corporate or the Fortune 500 companies. And if they do continue, it will be very, very high cost for those companies. So there you go, guys. So those are the 10 reasons why you should move into a cloud technology immediately. And the earlier you move, the more benefits you'll reap, the more secure your career would be. And, you will basically keep your technology and your career going in parallel for a much longer duration, and you will actually get much better rates, right? And the security that comes with it. And then it's also shelters you from the politics, if there's any politics in your organization or in the team you're going to join. So there you go, guys. Those are the top 10 reasons why you should kind of move to the cloud now. Please like and subscribe this channel. And we're going to take up more topics in future. And this is Sam signing off for SAP Careers and Job Seekers Group. Have a good day.